Well, hello and how are you? Hey friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you live right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Live at 5, that is. Hey, today's Monday, September the 25th, 2023. Got some Shen Show shout outs to the Shen Show fans. That's right, Paul Osborn, Mary Ann Williams Briscoe, a.k.a. my mommy, Savann Murphy Beason, Doug Bell Bell, a.k.a. Steve Clary, Diana Gray, Ken and Becky Tackett, Martin Kelly, a.k.a. Smiley, Richie Humarito, and my Pokey pals, Julie Regot, and Amanda Sue Little. There's your special return pokes for you right now. Yo, alrighty, then. What are we going to do next? How about a weather forecast? Weather forecast brought to you today by Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. Refreshing Word Fellowship Church is a non-denominational Christian church which is located at 2054 Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. Come on by for your get in touch with Jesus. That's right, get in touch with God through the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Hey, today's temperature high was 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and partly cloudy, but there was a lot of real sunny patches out there today, for sure. And it was an enjoyable day. That's right. We're back on track again. The care provider showed up, and that was a good thing because, well, they're supposed to do that. That's their function in life. Amen. All right, let's see. Remainder of the day. Partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudier after midnight. Low temperatures of 63 degrees Fahrenheit with winds southwest at about 5 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, Tuesday, September the 26th, sunny skies and a few passing clouds. High temperatures around 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Variable cloudy with scattered thunderstorms overnight. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. 62 degrees Fahrenheit temperature with winds north to northeast at 5 miles per hour, except for those wind gusts. We're going to have 50% chance of rain. Then for Wednesday, September the 27th, scattered thunderstorms in the morning, then partly cloudy skies later on during the day. High temperatures near 80 degrees Fahrenheit with winds west to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain, 40%. Clear skies overnight with a few passing clouds. Low temperatures around 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be northeast at about 4 miles per hour. A light rain also. Oh, what did I do? All right. Got this thing getting in my way over there. Don't know what it is or where it came from. It's sitting off the middle of my screen. Anyway, what in the world? Something's going on. Something is going. Something is going on. What it is ain't exactly clear as bell. That ain't it, and that is not all. I don't know where it's coming from. It's just a shining on me today. Shining on me today. Alright, anyway. It just keeps going somewhere else. I'm loading other stuff. It's not supposed to load other stuff. Maybe I'm going to have to refresh that page. We will. We'll just refresh the weather page. Try something totally different. We're going to refresh the weather page. See if we can't get something more engaged. And just to do it for you. Day to day. We'll just go ahead and refresh that weather page. Let it do what it's going to do today. So much for retiring. So much for retired nerds. All right, Thursday. Thursday, September the 28th. Partly cloudy skies with high temperatures of 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east at about 5 miles per hour. Clear skies overnight, low temperatures of 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be about 4 miles per hour out of the east. And then for Friday, September the 29th, mainly sunny skies with high temperatures of 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east to southeast at about 6 miles per hour. Clear skies overnight, low temperatures of 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to southeast at about 5 miles per hour. And then for our fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. Sunny skies for Saturday, September the 30th. High temperatures around 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies overnight. Low temperatures of 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east at about 5 miles per hour. And that, my friends, is your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. All right, all right. My pleasure to bring that weather to you. For sure, for sure. I got a jingle jangle in my footstep, a jingle jangle on my spurs. They kick and mingle with the jingle jangle jingle. My spurs keep a jingle jangling on. We're going to sing that as a matter of fact. Song lyrics, I've got spurs that jingle jangle jingle. I've got spurs that jingle jangle jingle as I go riding merrily along. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I have done something to me, this is why I never fell. Oh, I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle as I go riding merrily along. And they sing, oh, aren't you glad you're single? And that song, it ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Marianne, oh, Marianne, though we done some like walking, this is why I'm up and I ran. I've got spurs, a jingle, jangle, jingle, as I go riding merrily along. And they sing, oh, aren't you glad you're single? And that song ain't so very far from wrong. So I'll just jingle, jangle, jingle along. Yes, I'll just jingle, jangle, jingle along. There you have it. Ah, still believe in love. Been believing in love for like 5 days and I can't get it out of my head. So we're going to spin it for you another time just to get it off my mind. Uh, Song lyrics, I believe in love, Don Williams. I don't believe in superstars or organic food or foreign cars. I don't believe the price of gold, the certainty of growing old. The right is right and left is wrong, that north and south can't get along. That east is east and west is west, and being first is always best. But I believe in love. I believe in babies. I believe in mom and dad, and I believe in you. Well, I don't believe that heaven waits for only those who congregate. I like to think that God is love. He's down below, He's up above, He's watching people everywhere. He knows who doesn't care. And I'm an ordinary man. Sometimes I wonder who I am, but I believe in love. I believe in baby. I believe in mom and dad, and I believe in you. Oh, I don't believe virginity is as common as it used to be. In working days and sleeping nights, that black is black and white is white. And Superman and Robin Hood are still alive in Hollywood. That gasoline's in short supply. The rising cost of getting by. But I believe in love. I believe in old folks. I believe in children. And I believe in you. I believe in love. I believe in babies. I believe in mom and dad, and I believe in you. Yes, I believe. All right. Hopefully that's out of my head for a while. What's next? Oh, what's next? Oh, I know what I was doing earlier. We'll have to do it. Don't you forget it. We're going to put you through it. Song lyrics: The devil went down to Georgia. Gotta get a little wet to the whistle for this one. Well, we wet the whistle and it choked up something, didn't it? Oh, well, the devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for his old steel. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. When he come across this young man sawing on a fiddle and playing it hot, the devil jumped up on the hickory stump and he said, "Boy, let me tell you what. Now, I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too, and if you care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now, you play a pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I'll bet that fiddle of gold against your soul, 'cause I think I'm better than you." Well, the boy said, "My name's Johnny, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're going to regret, 'cause I'm the best there's ever been." Well, Johnny, rising up that boom and play your fiddle hard, 'cause else broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals cards. Now, if you win, you get this fiddle, shiny fiddle made of gold. But if you lose, the devil gets your soul. Well, the devil opened up his case and he said, "I'll start this show." And fire flew from his fingertips as he rosined up his bow. And he pulled that bow across them strings, and it made an evil hiss. And a band of demons joined in, and it sounded something like this. A fiddle diddle doo, fiddle diddle diddle dee, a fiddle diddle 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 dee, dee 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 dee, fiddle diddle doo, fiddle diddle diddle dee, fiddle diddle diddle dee dee, fiddle diddle diddle dee 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 dee, fiddle diddle 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 dee. Well, when the devil finished, Johnny said, "Well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit down in that chair right there and let me show you how it's done. Fire on the mountains, run, boys, run. The devil's in the house with the rising sun. Chicken and bread pan picking out dough. Granny Dutch dog pipe and no child knows." Well, the devil bowed his beat head because he knew that he'd been beat, and then he laid back holding fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. Johnny says, "Well, devil, you just come on back again, 'cause if you ever want to try it again, 'cause I done told you once, you son of a gun, I'm the best that's ever been." And he played, "Fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. The devil's in the house with the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Mom ain't touched down, right? No child, no. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Oh, there it is. I was just telling somebody about this song the other night, and it was a scarily song. He was playing something else, and it kind of reminded me of this one. Well, if you ever go back into Willie's Swamp, you never want to go at night. There's things out there that mile in the middle of them woods that make them strong man dive right. There's things that crawl, and there's things that fly, and there's things that creep around on the ground. And they say that the ghost of Lucius Swamp gets up and walks around. Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around. But I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. Couldn't conceive it. I never would listen to nobody else. No, I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There's just some things in this world you can't explain. The old man lived in the woolly swamp way back in the gurgling woods, and he never did do a lot of harm in the world, but he never did do a lot of good. Now, people didn't think too much of him. They all thought he acted kind of funny. That old man didn't care about people anyway. All he cared about was his money. Well, he'd stuff it all in mason jars and he'd bury it all around. But on certain nights, and the moon was right, he'd dig it all up from the ground. He'd pour it all out on the floor of his shack and he'd run his fingers through it. Old Lucius Clay was a greedy old man, and that's all there was to it. But I couldn't believe it. I know I just had to find out for myself. Couldn't conceive it. I never would listen to nobody else. No, I couldn't believe it. Just had to find out for myself. There's just some things in this world you can't explain. The old man lived in the woolly swamp, away back in the gurgling woods. Well, the Clayton boys were white trash, and they lived on Harvest Creek. And they were a real snake as sneaky as a cat, and belligerent when they'd speak. Well, one night, the oldest brothers said, "Y'all meet me in the woolly swamp later, and we'll go get old Lucius' money, and we'll pitch him to the alligators." Well, they found the old man out in the backyard with a shovel in his hand, had 13 rusty mason jars he had dug up out of the sand, and they all went crazy, and they beat the old man, and then they picked him up off of the ground, and then they threw him in the swamp, and they stood there and laughed till the thick black water sucked him down. And then they turned around and went back to the shack, and they picked up the money and they ran, but hadn't got nowhere when they realized they were running in quicksand. And they struggled and they screamed, but they couldn't get away. And just as they were gone, they could have swore they heard the old man laughing in a voice that was loud and strong. Now that's been 50 years ago. If you go back there again, there's a spot in the yard in back of the shack where the ground is always wet. And on certain nights, and the moon is right, you're down by the dark footpath, you can hear the three young men screaming, and you can hear the old man laugh. If you ever go back in the woolly swamp, you never want to go at night. There's things out there in the middle of them woods that'll make a grown man die from fright. There's the things that crawl, there's the things that fly, and things that creep around on the ground. And they say that the ghost of Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around. But I couldn't believe it. I know I had to find out for myself. Couldn't conceive it. I never would listen to nobody else. No, I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There's things out there, some things in this world you just can't explain. The old man lived in the woolly swamp, way back up in the Regot woods. Okay, there we go. That be enough of the singing. The singing, ging, 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 ging. Hey, a friend of mine, I'll give her a shout out. I listened to her video. She threw a video out there the other day. That would be Sweet Sunny Day Girl. If you get a chance to YouTube her over there, Sweet Sunny Day Girl, a.k.a. Rachel. Give her a look, see, look her up. Take a look there in the gander at her YouTube page she got up there. It's a pretty funny little ditty. So have a little fun with it. She had a little fun with it. So hope y'all enjoy it as much as I did. All righty then. Super shout out Sunday, Saturday, Monday. Be there, be there, be there. Here we are all together on this fantabulous Monday morning. Afternoon. That's right. It's Monday afternoon. Do you know where your children are? Should be coming home from school anytime, just raking up the leaves and buying a new car. Hey, I got roommates home, that's for sure. Rolling on in the old back door. Rolling on in the old back door. Oh, what's next? How about the TV Grandpa? Yeah, we can do that. TV Grandpa. Hey kids, it's TV Grandpa. We're going to bring you another story from the Bible because, well, that's where this story happens to come from. Back in the good book. In the Bible, it is. Back in the good book. From the Bible, it is.
It was just cheaper to buy it instead of fish for it.
Oh, well, there you go. Got you some flounder baits.
No, that's catfish nuggets.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's cheaper to buy them instead of fish for them.
You would. Cost you more weights and line and hooks. All right, let's see. What else we going to read about now? Read about now. Read about now. Something for the kiddos. Something heaven sent. How about Gideon? Gideon was an angel. I do believe. There's a whole Bible called the Gideon Bible. So we're going to read a story about Gideon. The story of Gideon. Okay, kids, hey, jump up on the couch or jump up on the bed. Wherever it is, you rest your sleepy little head. TV Grandpa is about to lull you off to sleep with another tantalizing story from the Bible. Story of Gideon. The story of Gideon starts with God not being very happy with his people, the Israelites. If you remember, the Israelites were the ones God saved from Pharaoh, the people Moses led across the Red Sea and on to the dry ground, while on dry ground. Hundreds of years had passed since that, but throughout all of God's miracles they had experienced, they still did evil in his eyes, and so he weren't happy. Now, they were conscious of these actions too, and that means that they knew exactly what they did when they were doing something wrong. And God didn't bless them, but gave them into the hands of the Midianites. Now, the Midianites were their friends, and they weren't their friends, and they took or ruined all their crops and animals. The Israelites had to hide from them in caves. And after Israel had nothing left, they finally cried out to God for help, and God heard their cry, like he always does, and had a plan. Well, the cool thing about this is that God wasn't happy with the Israelites, but he still listened to them and answered their prayers. Now, this is where Gideon comes into the story. He was thrashing wheat in a hidden place so that the Midianites wouldn't see him and steal the wheat. And when an angel of the Lord came and sat next to him, the angel spoke to him and said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." "But, sir," Gideon replied, "if the Lord is with us, why is all this bad stuff happening? Where are all the miracles our fathers, the people that crossed the Red Sea, told us about?" The Lord replied to Gideon, "Go with all your strength and save Israel from the Midianites. I am sending you to do it." Then Gideon started all the excuses. "But Lord, how can I save Israel? My people are the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the smallest and the youngest in my family." I think God probably smiled here, but he said, "I will be with you, and you will defeat all the Midianites together." Then Gideon asked God for a sign. He wanted to be sure that this was really God that he was talking to. Well, Gideon didn't have a Bible to follow and didn't know how or if God went around talking to people. He wanted to be sure. So first he prepared an altar as an offering for God. This was a way they gave gifts and asked for forgiveness to God before Jesus died on the cross. Now he set his offering, meat and unleavened bread, down on a rock, and fire came from the rock, completely consuming the meat and the bread, and the angel of the Lord disappeared. Then Gideon realized that it was the angel of the Lord. That same night, the Lord told Gideon to take down the altar his father had built for a pretend god, Baal, and to cut down an Asher pole. This was made of another god that people wanted to worship. Now, the Israelites had started believing in these fake gods, and that's why God had been angry with them in the first place. He is the only real and true God, and these people were praying and giving thanks and offerings to pieces of wood and statues that cannot hear or do anything. So Gideon took 10 of his servants at night because he was afraid of getting caught from the people in the town, and he tore down the altars. The people were mad when they realized Gideon had wrecked their altars, but they decided that if Baal was really a god, he could punish Gideon. Of course, nothing ever happened to Gideon because Baal wasn't real. Now Gideon still wanted to make sure that God would save the Israelites, and so he asked for another sign. He placed a piece of wool from, from a sheep on the ground, and if there was dew on them, the fleece, and all the ground about it was dry, then he would know that God would save them. And when Gideon checked the wool in the morning, it was soaking wet, and the ground was completely dry. Still, Gideon asked for one more sign. This time, he asked that the fleece would be dry and the ground would be wet. And sure enough, the next morning, it was just as Gideon had asked. So Gideon gathered up an army, and he started out for the midnight camp. Gideon was probably feeling pretty good about things. He had lots of men to help him fight, and God promised he would help them win. So God had something a little different in mind. He told Gideon he had too many men in his army. He knew that Israel would think they defeated the Midianites on their own without God's help. And so God said to Gideon, "Announce to the people, anyone who is afraid may go home now." Amazingly, 22,000 of them left. That's a lot of people, don't you know? More than half of the whole army went home. Only 10,000 stayed. Well, Gideon still felt all right. At least they had 10,000 men, right? Not for long. The Lord told Gideon he still had too many men. When they went down to the water for a drink, the Lord told him, separate the men that drink the water like a dog and the ones that get on their knees and drink from their cupped hands. I'm thinking this took quite a while. Well, while all those men, but Gideon did it. It's surprising, but only 300 men got on their knees and drank from their hands. All the rest looked silly, lapping at the water with their tongues like dogs. Well, God told Gideon that he only wanted the 300 men, that the rest were supposed to go home. This way, when they won, the Israelites would know that God was in control with only 300 men left. Gideon didn't know how God was going to help them win. There were so many Midianites against them, and only 300 of them, and so he worried and wasn't getting any sleep. So God decided to help Gideon and make him feel better about things. During the night, the Lord spoke to Gideon. If you are still afraid that I am going to help you win, if you are still afraid that I'm going to help you win, go down in the valley with your servant Pharaoh, where the Midianites are staying, and listen to what they are saying. You'll feel much better after that. So guess what Gideon done? He was still afraid, and he took Pharaoh and he snuck down to the midnight camp. Just as he arrived, he heard one of them talking to his friend about a dream that he had. He was saying, I dreamt that a round loaf of bread came rolling into our camp. It came so fast that it ran right into one of our tents and made it fall over. His friend responded, this must mean the sword of Gideon, and that God will help him defeat the Midianites. As soon as Gideon heard this, he worshiped God, and he ran back to the camp. He returned and he called out, get up, the Lord has given us the Midianite camp. And he divided all the men in 3 groups and gave them all trumpets and empty jars with torches in them. Well, Gideon and the men surrounded the camp in 3 groups. Remember, they were up high looking down onto the valley. And when Gideon started to blow his trumpet, the rest followed through and blew their trumpets too. And they blew their trumpets and they yelled for the Lord, for Gideon. Then they broke the jars they were carrying, holding onto the torches, which with one hand, and the trumpets in the other's hand, shouting, and a sword for the Lord and for Gideon. And when the Midianites heard this, they started yelling and running around. And then when all the trumpets started again, the Lord caused the Midianites to start freaking out, and they started to turn on each other with their swords. The rest that got away were captured by the men of Ephraim by the Jordan River, because Gideon sent messengers ahead of them to let them know they were coming. That was the day God saved Gideon and defeated the Midianites. And without God, none of this was possible. I hope that after this, Gideon learned his lesson and he stopped worrying. With God, nothing is impossible. So the next time you're in a tough situation, know that God can give you the strength and he wants to help you, just like he asked. Just ask him and he will help. There you have it. That was the story of Gideon. That was a very entertaining and inspirational story for sure, for sure. All right, that brings us to the daily bread portion of the program. And the daily bread portion of the program is going to be brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2023. The Bible with Briscoe 2023 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2023 will be Song of Songs 6 through 8 and Galatians 4. So don't forget to tune in to the Bible with Briscoe 2023 for your daily reading of the Bible. Reasons for fear. Well, there you have it. We just covered Gideon, and he went through fear himself. Today we're going to be reading Psalms 118, 1 through 7. Maybe there will be explanation for reasons for fear. Here we go. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Let Israel say, his love endures forever. Let the house of Aaron say, his love endures forever. Let those who fear the Lord say, his love endures forever. When hard pressed, I cried out to the Lord, and he brought me into a spacious place. The Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? The Lord is with me. He is my helper. I look to him in triumph on my enemies. That's it. That is what. Never fear. God is here. All right. Alrighty then. Hey, that brings us to the end of the Shen show. Got a few songs in. We got a few shout outs out. And hey, that looks like a good enough show for me tonight. So, I got one more song for you. And it goes like this. Oh, well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. Oh, so goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Alrighty then. That's it. That's all. That's the end of the Shin Show. We're up. We're out of here. May God bless you all, each and every one. Come back and see us again tomorrow because, well, hey, we'll be here. And we hope that you are too. Bye bye.